Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome to English grade 8. I hope that you're doing well. You are ready to begin our new chapter, chapter number 10 or unit number 10. The title is Mother Earth Weeps. Now we are going to explore the theme of environmental education. It means that using this lesson, reading it, you will be educated about your environment, and the sub-theme that we explored in the lesson is about conservation of resources. How can we preserve, how can we use our resources, the natural resources that nature has given us with a very good understanding and sense of responsibility. This is going to be our introductory lecture. We are going to follow all these different learning outcomes that you can see on the main page. So let's get started. Now, here is your main lesson. This is a poem by Vida Scoro. Now, you have to read the pre-reading first before diving into the lecture. Read this poem, try to understand it, find out different literary techniques and everything that we have learned. We will explore them in the upcoming lessons. Now, you have to read it, and let me just give you a very quick overview of our main lesson, which is a poem. So we are going to look at this theme overview. The theme of the poem Mother Earth Weeps is environmental destruction and the urgent need for humans to protect and care for the planet. It focuses on the harmful effects of pollution, deforestation, and the disregard for nature, while calling for responsibility and action to save the earth from further damage. The poem conveys a message of environmental awareness and the importance of preserving or saving nature for future generations so that they can have a better life and a very good clean environment. So, the title Mother Earth Weeps means that we are destroying the earth, the Mother Earth, which is like a mother. We have to take care of it because through earth we get our water, we get our food and nutrition. So, but it is in a very disastrous condition and a bad condition. How can we make it better? What can we do and what role can we play? So, keeping these things in the mind, you can read the main lesson. Now, let's get started with our different learning outcomes. I'm going to introduce you with them so that you are prepared for attending the upcoming lessons. So, for lecture number 1, my dear learners, we have to analyze and construct sentences using the sentence patterns and structures learned in earlier classes. We know that in order to create a sentence, we have to follow some rules. What are these sentence patterns? Like subject, verb, object, and direct object. So all these things will be seen in this lesson. This is about grammar because we are going to construct our sentences. Second part of the learning outcome says that we have to use all types of tenses correctly in our speech and writing. We are very much familiar about all these different tenses. Let's see what we are going to learn in this one, and we can also recall and revise our prior knowledge of tenses. For lecture number 2, we have to understand and utilize similes, metaphors, personification, imagery, scheme, alliteration, hyperbole, oxymoron, mood, meter, rhyme, assonance and consonance given in the text. Since we are talking about a main lesson which is a poem, we are going to see all these different poetic devices that we have and also figures of speech that we can find in the text, in the lesson, and we have to recognize them and respond to the text according to them. Alright, for the next lecture, lecture 3A, we are going to discuss and evaluate how authors use language, including the figurative language, considering the impact on the reader, because Figurative language leaves a very good impact. It is very powerful. So we need to learn how the authors are using it and how we can understand each and every kind of technique. Then we have to express preferences and opinions openly. What is a preference? As an individual, what is your opinion and what worth does it have? We are going to see them in these two things in one lecture. For lecture number 3B, we are going to talk about using common punctuation cues or punctuation marks to help or aid comprehension when reading. For example, comma, full stop, exclamation mark, colon, dash, parenthesis, slash, and ellipsis. All these are our punctuation cues. We are going to learn them, learn more rules and new things about them. In the next lecture, we have to apply knowledge from listening to, viewing and responding to text for different purposes, including our arguments and discussions. For example, in the context of enjoyment and understanding of other areas of language learning. Now, this is about your oral communication, where you need to learn that how you're going to be comfortable with the language, how can you use it in the better sense. In the next lecture, we have to use summary skills to write an objective summary of the given text and poems. Summary which is free of your opinions and interpretation. Then, in the second part, we need to write multiple paragraphs, essays or stories, multi-stanza poems or play script using correct punctuation and spelling, grammar, grade level vocabulary and transitional devices, following rules of the subject-verb agreement, sentence structure and types by using the writing process approach, pre-writing, editing and final draft stages. Now, everything that we have learned so far, we are going to write it accordingly using the process approach of writing, where we have to follow these 3 steps. We are going to see that how we can write effectively using punctuation cues, tenses and all the things that we have learned, so we can create a better piece of writing. Thank you, students. I hope that I have successfully introduced all these learning outcomes to you. I'll see you in the next video lesson with our lecture number 1. Till then, read the lesson and learn your moral lessons from it, and you can also write your objective summary. Now, talk about the lesson, read the poem, maybe remember it by heart, memorize it, and then we can start our lessons. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.